It is natural that every parent loves his or her child. Now, this love usually comes with some forms of expectations or the other. The expectations of how the child should look, how the child should behave, and more importantly, what the child should become in life. As a parent, handling the expectation of what your child should become in life, if not handled well, will lead to the diversion, delay, or even denial of that child's destiny. Just as it happened to one of my former colleagues named Oluwakemi and my university roommate, Agada. Oluwakemi and I usually spend our free time talking about lives and life's purposes, how to fulfill life's purposes. And she once told me that she was happy for me and that she envied me that I was not just working as a teacher, that I was living my life. I was happy to hear that because, of course, I don't see myself working. I see myself living my life as a teacher. She told me her mother hijacked her decision-making process of becoming who she wanted to become, a lawyer. She was in senior high school, and she wanted to go to the arts department that, of course, will qualify her to go to university and study law. Of course, her mother, out of love, and because her mother had expectation for her, the mother already had mental picture of what Oluwakemi should become. The mother ordered her to science department to become a science student so that she could eventually become a medical doctor. An obedient Yoruba girl, she followed her mother. And she did offered the science subject in high school. After finishing high school, she secured admission to study dental science and technology. Gradually, of course, Oluwakemi was already fulfilling her mother's dream and choice for her. But that was not Oluwakemi. Of course, she needed to just bear the pain. She was there studying the course. True happiness was creeping away from her. No fulfillment, no sense of belonging at all in what she was doing. Her mother, I believe, on the other hand, was very happy because her daughter was fulfilling her dream for her. Oluwakemi spent 5 good years in that institution studying that course for her mother, and eventually she graduated with just paper result and emptiness of sense of achievement. And so one day she told me, Mr. Oyagaba, I don't think I can continue like this. I will quit my job. On a Monday morning, Oluwakemi came to school, of course, and she went straight to the administrator's block. That day, she didn't come to teach. She came to tender her resignation letter and, of course, to give us, her colleagues and her students, a smile and wave of goodbye. She said that, and the next thing I saw was Oluwakemi's back. She was gone. But I was happy for her. She was going to get her true self rescued from where she dumped it from her mother. As a parent, when your child is coming up and you take this position over the child, she is my child, he is my child, and she has to become what I dream of her to become, you are missing it big time. Of course, it happened to my university roommate as well. Agada and I were there at Benue State University in Makurdi. I was studying English and Literary Studies education. He was studying economics. He told me he wanted to study music. Agada lost the battle of going into studying music. In his own case, his father did not impose any subject on any course on him. His father did not just want him to study music. Agada picked economics to study just to go through university. But while at Benue State University, Makurdi, Agada was gradually creeping into depression. But he had one opportunity to escape that depression. Agada was spending his time writing poems and reading poems, writing songs and listening to music, and attending music concerts. One of these days, we were writing an exam, and around 5:45 p.m., I was returning home. I saw him dressed up. He was going out. I looked at him. We fondly called ourselves Oyene. I said, Oyene, where are you going? Agada knew me very well, that his decision was not going to go down well with me. He didn't answer that question. Rather, he went ahead to explain why he was going out. And then he told me, Oyene, I can't afford to miss this all-night music concert and the celebrities coming to Makurdi tonight. I need to go there. Agada had examination the following day, 8 a.m., and I knew him very well. He was not reading his course materials at all because he had no interest in economics. Agada left. He spent his whole night at that music concert. And then at 8 a.m., he went to school. Of course, I know what will be the outcome of his result. He failed his examination. Of course, I didn't look at my roommate, Agada, judgmentally with the eye of he was an unserious student. I look at a young man trying to strike a balance between his father's philosophy and his urge, his passion to live a fulfilled life. And just like Oluwakemi, Agada spent 4 years plus extra 1 year in university and graduated eventually with no sense of fulfillment. As a parent, you are just but a counselor to your child when it is time for that child to take a career path. You may not know what the implication of that decision you're making for that child will become in 5 years, 10 years to come of that child. No wonder today, in a society, we have quite a number of sad and wicked doctors, engineers, accountants, and other professionals. They are sad and wicked because they are not supposed to be there. They don't have any sense of belonging there. There is an Idoma given name in the Idoma ethnic group of Benue State. The name is called Ejembi. Ejembi metaphorically means I was given to take care of. As a parent, you are just but a caretaker of that child, and you have no supernatural power to decide or determine what the child will become in life. An attempt to do that, you are doing nothing but probably sowing the seed of frustration and depression in the life of that child. And of course, when that seed germinates and grows, you know what that will be. As a teacher, I see this every day, and it breaks my heart. Few weeks ago, I was in my class, of course, busy as a teacher, writing lesson notes and lesson plan, planning for the next class to go. But I've dropped into the conversation of two of my students. Amina is the name of one of them. Amina asked her classmate, which course do you want to study? Then her classmate said, I want to study international relations. I could see the glow on the face of Amina when she said, oh, that's my dream course. And the friend and classmate told her, but you are offering science subjects. And all of a sudden I saw gloom, I saw sadness on Amina's face. She said, it is my father's decision for me. As a teacher, I became interested in the conversation of the two girls. And then I caught in. Amina, why didn't you convince your dad? Amina looked at me as though I was the father that denied her of that privilege. She looked at me sadly and said, as if he cares. and she walked out of the class sadly. Sincerely, I fought to hold back my tears because I already saw a child already being depressed by her father's autocratic decision for her without considering the interest of the child and the authenticity of that child's makeup. You see, when we continue this narrative like this, we are expounding the rate of frustration, depression, and even suicide in our society. Please, if you're a father, just be a father to that child. If you're a mother, be a mother to that child. But more importantly, be a counselor to that child when it comes to the decision of what the child should become in life. And of course, as you know, a counselor does not impose anything, any decision on his or her client. He directs. He suggests the way to follow. Guide that child well. Don't say, you must become a medical doctor to take over my family's hospital business. Of course, you could hire any professional to do that. Leave your child alone. You are different from that child. That child is different from you. My daughter, you must become a lawyer in our family because we need a lawyer to keep us going in our society. Please leave that child alone. Let that child be what he or she wants to become. I conclude with this thought of mine. At the end of it all, it is not one's career that makes one. It is what one makes out of it. Thank you.